Cops.
Everyone present? Ready to begin, Tucker? Are we recording? Okay, good morning, everyone. It's 8:32 on Tuesday, December 14th, 2021. This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Selectmen of the town of New Canaan. This is a hybrid meeting. We have Tiger on by Zoom and Chris Hodges. First item on the agenda are minutes from our November 30th meeting. Do we have any? First of all, we have a quorum. Nick and I are here. Kathleen is absent. Do we have any comments or corrections on the minutes?
None here, Cap.
Okay, I move we approve the minutes of the November 30th, 2021 meeting.
Second your motion.
All in favor? That's unanimous. Public comments. This is a hybrid meeting, so we will take comments by, I don't see members of the public here, but or do I?
I see public.
Well, you're officials, so anyway, if anyone wants to make comments on agenda items in person or by email, the email address is bosdistribution@newcanaanct.gov. If we receive any comments in the course of the meeting, we'll read them before the end of the meeting. Anybody have any comments that wish to make now on agenda items? Okay, application for certificate of affordable housing completion. Good morning, Lynn. What is this?
I didn't realize you were being there. Good morning. So this is an application under 830G of the Connecticut statutes. We have the option to complete a certificate of affordable housing completion to start a moratorium process. We had one. We completed one in 2017. Ran from June of 2017 through June of 2021.
Lynn, why don't you speak into one of the mics?
Sorry. Do you want me to start again or no?
Back up just a little bit so we have it for the record.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So this is part of the 830G from the state statutes. The town completed the certificate of affordable housing completion leads to a moratorium from the state for 4 years for housing for 830G applications. The town had one from 2017 through June of this year. And we're now starting the process to apply for our second. This is to engage another planner to help us with the work that was done. Last time it was done by another planner as well, Betty Brocious. And this time we're going to use Karen Martin. Betty Brocious is retired and no longer working.
So for the public at large, we're talking about a safe harbor, right? For
What do
the
you mean?
town with respect to 830G, right? Safe harbor being the town is not in a position where developers can come in and say, hey, we're going to put up affordable housing and not be subject necessarily to all of our planning and zoning rules and laws, right?
Yes, essentially. So this is part of a formal process. That
Right.
sa-
So-
basically says. we-
So in terms of time, so we lost the safe harbor in June because the clock ran out in terms of the numbers, right? And I think we were a little delayed on the 123
Mhm.
development. In terms of timing, how long do you see this playing out to get the safe harbor back?
We're hoping to move this ASAP.
W-
The timing.
Assuming we move it ASAP,
So no matter what, it's a 90-day timeline for the state once we submit. So we're, as soon as we can get it in, we are in the process of assembling the paperwork. now.
okay. And since the expiration of the safe harbor in June of 2021, how many applications have been made pursuant to 830G in town for developments?
None.
None.
None to this date. No,
Okay.
we have not
Okay.
received any.
That's helpful. Thank you.
I have no questions.
Good.
I move we approve this request to approve a contract with Karen Martin, AICP, to provide consultation services in order to complete the application for the certificate of affordable housing,
ASAP.
ASAP.
I second the motion.
Further discussion? All in favor? Aye, that's unanimous. Thank you, Lynn. Purchase of a Get About vehicle. Who's doing this? Tiger?
This one is me. Good morning. So Get About, after we purchased the last vehicle about a month, 2 months ago, Get About came back in and said that they'd like to purchase another. So we went back to VMI Commercial for an additional price for a 2021 Toyota Sienna Hybrid commercial van with an ADA conversion. The total price is $60,450. And it's commensurate with Get About providing us the funds for the purchase. We'd like to go forward. We've had very good success with VMI in the past, and we'd like to purchase another vehicle for them.
Questions for Tiger?
Tiger, how many vans do they have?
I think there's 6, Nick.
6?
Yeah, I'll verify that for you, though.
And this is replacing what?
It's replacing one of theirs. It's not an additional to their fleet. It's replacing an existing.
How many miles?
I don't know that. Sorry.
Do you know vintage? What year?
2008, I think. It's the
Okay.
one that,
Okay. So it's probably got a lot of miles on it, right?
yeah, it's due for replacement.
Okay, okay.
I have no questions.
No questions. No further questions.
I have no further questions. I move we approve the request for Public Works to enter into a contract with VMI Commercial for $60,450 for the purchase of a new 2021 Toyota Sienna hybrid commercial van with ADA conversion for Get About Inc. Second,
Second.
further discussion? All in favor? Aye, that's unanimous. Thanks, Tiger. Going to Bill Postman. Morning, Bill. How's your recovery coming?
Slowly but surely, still great.
Hmm.
Walk.
You look good.
Yeah, it's only been a week. Start my PT after this meeting. Thank you. So, the Waving House HVAC project, we had some funding approved last year to get a plan together. Current systems, overall system is the original, 1930-ish. So what we'd like to do is retain Silver and Petroselli Associates. They're highly recommended architectural and engineering firm. They're all in-house. And the first piece of the first phase of this would be to go in and do a complete study of the whole building and then come back with us with recommendations of what type of systems they would recommend to replace the current steam system. And also to add air conditioning and dehumidification, the possibilities and pros and cons of that, should we choose to want to do that. So we have this funding available for this, so we'd like to get this started so we can get a plan going.
Questions?
So thanks to Tucker, I had a sneak peek at the Waveney plan. I think,
It's not public yet.
okay, well, it doesn't matter. It is now. And it's something we voted on. So I mean, but my guess is that as part of that plan, which blew me away, and I assume will be on the agenda very soon, we need air conditioning at Waveney in order to fulfill everything we need to do and everything that Waveney can be, right? In terms of a destination place for weddings and such. So, you know, I'm in favor of this. I think this is something we need to do.
Keep in mind, this is not something we plan to do probably in the next 5 or 10 years unless we significantly increase the revenues
Right.
with the plan that's being discussed.
Right.
But this is to be prepared should the heating system fail. We have a planned,
Pre-engineered plan. correct?
pre-engineered plan that we can.
And how do you do air conditioning at Waveney, just generally? Because
It's
big.
doable. I mean, it is all doable. We turned the problem most likely, and the engineers will review this, go to a hydro air system. And we would probably, I would suspect we may do a chiller out where the generator is up in front.
And
of, like-
aesthetically
You know, that's
indoors.
the area where there's a generator now. There's also the transformers out there and it's
Right.
right in front of, where Steve Park's in front of the driveway.
Right.
Over that wall, there's a little green area there. It's all walked down with trees. I want to try to confine everything to that area. This way here, it's screened off from basically everything. And we would just.
What
pipe
they'll
off
do
the
is they'll
roof.
put equipment in the basement, equipment in the
Yeah,
attic,
yep.
and they'll drill holes down in, so little holes that force the,
Yeah, we have the old elevator shafts that go from basement to attic, which is it's a huge conduit to get all our piping, our electrical in. And we prepared for this going over the time. We have upgraded the electricity in the building already. We also ran three-phase electricity to the attic when we did the roofing project to support some new stuff up there. So we're gradually getting there. We'll be prepared once it's ready time to pull the trigger.
Cool. No pun intended.
no further questions?
No further questions, Kevin.
I move, we approve this request from Public Works to enter into a contract with Silver Petrucelli and Associates for a total of $13,140, which includes a contingency in order to assess and gather data for upgrading the heating system and installing air conditioning to Waveney House.
Second here.
When it says assess and gather data for upgrading, that's a plan. That's a plan to pre-engineer plan to do
Yeah,
it.
we'll get the plan together and we'll probably try to have them work on some budget numbers for us to the project.
Okay, second,
Second here.
further discussion?
None here.
All in favor? Aye, that's unanimous. Okay, Town Hall entrance stair rebuild.
Good morning.
Good morning, Joe. As well as
So I'm here to, as last week or 2 weeks ago, Tiger mentioned the stairs out front. As everyone can see, they've been moving around for some time. So this contract is to perform the exploratory work, come up with a design and a fix for the waterproofing and the resetting of the stairs. So so basically what has been happening with the stairs is the old cementitious setting bed has became deteriorated. And
Are they the original stairs?
they're the 1909, they're the
1909.
original treads. They
Right.
may have been reset throughout the years. So we need to reset the treads, rebuild any sort of base that needs to be, we need to find out what's underneath there, come up with a design. And this is to come up with that design.
Well, we need a foundation, right? There's no foundation.
There doesn't seem to be much, if there was, I'm sure there was a foundation at some point. It's cementitious, and I think since 1909, it's just deteriorated to, it looks like sand now.
Ballpark figures, how much that's going to cost, Joe?
It's a $215,000 project.
Okay.
Why didn't we do it when we renovated the building?
I think they weren't,
They-
go ahead.
They were reset about 20 years ago. And when we did the town hall project, they still looked really fine. And we said, why? It wasn't that old since they were reset. So we said, why do it? Why spend the money? It looked good at the time. So unfortunately, it's 6-7 years later. There's
Problem with old buildings.
Foreshadowing.
We all need a little work as we get older, apparently.
Yep. So we're looking to hire PPD Roof Consulting. They're really an envelope consulting. They've been around for years, hence their name Roof Consultant, but they're really a true full service envelope consultant. We recommend we award the contract to PPD Roof Consultant for $26,920 plus a contingency of $3,080 for a total of $30,000 to prepare the construction documents, bidding, and provide CA services.
Question?
This is a must do, so.
Let's do it. I move we approve the request from Public Works to enter into a contract with BPD Roof Consulting for $30,000, which includes a contingency to do what?
Sorry, they're creating the design documents for the waterproofing in the foundation.
As described by Joe just now, reflect in the minutes. That's where we're moving on. And do I have a second?
Second here.
All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to Tiger.
Back to
Or
me,
Bill.
actually. The Irwin roof,
Another old building.
yeah, the Irwin House roof repairs. It's not that old now. I was alive when they built that building, so. So listen, it's been a challenging summer, 2 summers actually, with the amount of rainfalls we've been getting and everything. So We've started to develop some roof issues in a couple of buildings. Irwin's house, no exception to that. It's the original roof. It's slate and has a rubber roof on it also. So we've had some leaks up there, and so we would like approval to hire John Antonelli to go up there and fix the leaks from where we locate it, and then go through the whole entire roof and reset some of the tiles that have been dislodged. A real thorough maintenance at this point to go through the whole building. I think this is a very good step to saving that roof. It's probably $250,000 to replace it, so I'd like to try to buy at least another 10, 15 years out if we can.
Okay, questions?
So could we talk about usage of Irwin House? I know one use would be if we decide to rehab the police department, we could talk about that. We could house these guys in, at least the detectives, Irwin House. But what's the long-term use beyond that, Kevin, in your mind? I mean, we haven't really talked about this in a while. So.
Well, we've talked about renting it out to nonprofits. There are nonprofits that are going to lose their housing on Pine Street. That would be about $40,000 a year in rent.
And we wouldn't have to do anything from an ADA standpoint to.
First
get
floor is
compliant.
ADA compliant, so we
First floor
don't-
is
we
ADA.
don't- we
First
don't
floor is
necessarily need to
ADA.
use the second floor other than for storage.
We used the first floor before.
Mhm.
Town,
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were housed up there for quite a few years when the town hall, the original town hall had flooded.
Right.
We were there for a good 8 years.
It's come in handy with the vaccination,
Right. No,
And,
and that's been terrific.
COVID testing,
Yeah.
so.
Hopefully, we won't have to do that in the future. Yeah, we need to do this too, so.
I move we approve the request from Public Works to enter into a contract with J. Antonelli Roofing for a total of $24,365, which includes a contingency to repair leaks, include reflashing and resetting dislodged or missing slate tiles.
Second
Second,
here,
further discussion?
none here.
All in favor? Unanimous? Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Traffic signal repairs, Tiger.
Thank you. This is the traffic signal at Park and Elm. We are one of two that we own in town. We have had, over the past 9-10 years, we've had at least a dozen service calls to go out to this area, to this cabinet itself. And the last call for what was considered a stuck pedestrian button, the gentleman opened up the cabinet and said that the wiring is starting to short out inside the cabinet. And instead of having them come out for a service call of about $2,000 each time, they recommended having the entire cabinet replaced. I'm trying to find a vintage on exactly how old this installation is, and I can't find the actual installation date for it. But it is quite old. We were actually looking at getting a quote from Signal Service and Doto to take a look at how much it would be to replace the entire system itself, just so we could have that in our 5-year plan in the out years. So the replacement of the cabinet is $18,313.70. We added a contingency of $2,700 for a project total of $21,013.70.
Questions?
Tiger, is this in the budget? Was this-
I have monies for it. It was an unbudgeted expense. There's a small line item in the police department budget of $500 to carry for traffic signal repairs. Just to get the tech out is around $1,600 each time. So no, we didn't have it, but I'll find the money for it. And having them come out every 6 months to a year for $1,600 to $2,000 to repair it is, we're starting to dump money into it, especially when they're telling us to replace it.
Well, while we're talking traffic and safety, any updates on the Carter Street 106 Canoe Hill intersection, which Selectman Corbett had, I think, quite rightly brought up as a danger zone?
We had, as you know, we had Michael Galante from Hardesty and Hanover go out and take a look. He provided us a draft of his study. He looked at several alternatives, one being a roundabout doesn't fit very well in the area. And right now we're going back and forth, excuse me, on comments to finalize the document, and then we'll bring it forward to you for
Excellent.
there isn't much that can be done, but there is one look that might work, but everything's going to require DOT approval.
Yeah, well, the chief's here, so far we believe the state won't pay any attention to this as a dangerous intersection, so because.
Well,
it's-
but on
it's their
Carter
road.
Street,
Yeah.
because I think the primary danger is if you're traveling north on Carter Street and you come to that intersection for the first time in your life and you're like, holy moly, and I want to go from Carter Street to Canoe Hill north, right? That's the problem. So if you have signage on Carter Street going north, at least there's a heads up, because, you have to almost look completely behind you to the left for the traffic coming north on 106. You need to go out, turn right, stop, look at the traffic, and then take a left on Canoe Hill, right?
Right. That is the primary.
You don't
problem.
need state, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, you don't need state approval to put a sign on Carter Street. Is that correct?
No, we do not. It would, any change or modification to the intersection, if we were trying to increase the queue lengths on 106. So as you're talking, you come out on Carter, you take a right, queue up, and then take a left. If we were trying to increase that queue length, we would be skewing the intersection, and that would require the DOT approval. Since it would be inside their right of way, we would need an encroachment permit to do that work.
Right. I mean, my wife taught me how to enter that intersection to get north. She was right.
The other solution would be to take.
And it is a busy intersection. I, respectfully disagree with
Take
your
down.
earlier comment that it wasn't, but,
Well, no, the statistics that we have show that it's not. That's the state looks at statistics so that.
well, I lived on Salem Road, so I
Anyway, that was not on the agenda, but what are we on?
The traffic signal,
Tiger,
was
does
there a
that have to
motion?
do with the work that Aquarian's been doing as far as the condition of
has
it?
has nothing to do with it, unfortunately.
And
This
we
is
own,
just the age of the signal. We own this one, and we own the one at Park and Pine and Cherry. Those are the
Are they
only
the
two
same?
we own.
are they the same vintage?
Yes. Yeah, so we are looking at that other one. We don't seem to have a problem at that other one. Granted, it doesn't get as heavily used because of the train station. But train station's at Park and Elm, so those buttons get used a lot more. But we were looking at that possibility, but I think we'll go with the one replacement of this cabinet, and then if the other one runs into problems, we'll look at that as well.
More questions?
not here.
I move to approve the request from Public Works to enter into a contract with. How do you say that, Tiger?
Indoto.
Service for a total of $21,1370 to repair traffic signals on Park and Street and Elm Street. Second
Second here.
for the discussion.
None.
All in favor?
Thank you.
That's unanimous.
Thank you.
Town Hall CHP project. Joe, again.
Good morning.
Tiger, when are we going to get the gas to Town Hall?
They had a meeting this morning. Joe was out there this morning with them. So he might be able to give you a little bit of an update as well.
Tiger, can you give us some update on paving downtown? Because I'm getting a lot of questions about, when are we ever going to get this? I know that, we got Aquarian, we got natural gas, but can you just give us a very quick overview of timing?
Sure. The downtown itself, Aquarian Burns Construction has this week and possibly one day next week to get the services in and remove the temporary main. At that point in time, they're going to shut down for the season because we'll be done or past when the plants close. The plants are going to close either tomorrow or Friday. So we would be looking at a spring paving for that area. I think it's better anyways than to try to push the weather at this point. So that entire area, Cherry Street from south to Main, and then Main Street from Cherry to Locust will be all repaired and repaved on Eversource and Aquarian's dime. And then I just received the saturation rate of how everyone is doing in town for all the town roads that Eversource had put gas lines on. And we're coming forward with a plan to repave the 2018 roads. So for our MOU, they had 2018, 19, and 20 to put in as many services as possible. We gave them 2021 because COVID shut down the 2020 year. And then, so we'll be looking at coming into the spring to take care of the majority of the roads that were disturbed in 2018 And we'll do the exact same thing the following year for the roads that were disturbed in 2019. And the only expansion that they have planned right now is to go up Elm Street, Grove Street, and Pine Street, take care of that additional business area. So Elm Street from Park to Grove, and then Grove from Elm to Pine, and then Pine from Grove to Park. That kind of loop there that they're looking to expand into. They'll do that over the next year. They're looking to come in pretty soon to go do that work. And then we'll look to put everyone online as quick as possible and hopefully shorten down that 3-year window, especially in that area.
So it sounds like there'd be, a lot of paving going on.
Next year is going to be, next year will be a very large project coming out for the repaving of the majority of the roads that were disturbed in 2018.
Good.
So that's everything on South Avenue, left and right from Farm Road to about Church Street, Oak Street, in that area. So left and right from South Avenue, Farm down to Oak, left and right down to Park or down to Main, all those roads. Quite a few.
Good. Thank you for the update, Tiger.
You're welcome. Joe?
All right. Good morning. So as part of the town's energy initiative, we have a capital project to install a CHP unit at the town hall. MHR Development and the DPW have negotiated with Aegis Energy to provide a 35 kilowatt combined heat and power unit. Aegis has competitively bid previous projects for the town and were the successful bidders for the town's CHP systems for the highway department, wastewater treatment facility, and Saks Middle School. The CHP system will be the same size and type of those that we're running over at the wastewater treatment facility and the highway garage. Anecdotally, we have not had to turn on the heat at the wastewater treatment facility this year. We've been running completely off the CHP units for heat. The CHP unit will be installed in the town hall boiler room. Electric and heat savings are generated by this project are estimated by MHR Development between $35,000 and $40,000 a year, which gives it a simple payback of approximately 7 to 8 years. So we're looking for approval to enter into 2 contracts, one with Aegis Energy Services in the amount of $295,678 plus a contingency of $30,000 for a total of $325,678. And also to execute a contract with MHR Development to provide design, build oversight and construction administration services for $29,568 plus a contingency of $3,000 for a total of $32,568. And the funds are currently available.
Joe, did we bid this out?
We did not bid it out. We bid this twice, other projects twice. And these are the exact same units that we installed over at the wastewater treatment facility. And we negotiated with them. They're basically the same price. Plus, there was a little bit of increase because it's been 2 years since we bid those projects. There's 2 years of escalation. And then there's a remote radiator on this unit, which is a little different because this one's being installed inside the building. So there's a remote radiator and there's also exhausting to the roof. So we took into account those 3 items and there's
And there's
the
probably
same price.
some benefit in using the same company to.
we have service
multiple different-
contracts
yeah.
with them. So right now we're familiar with their platform and their monitoring and their call center. So it's beneficial to have, this will be the 4th unit that we would have with Aegis, and they competitively bid and won 3 of them already.
So Aegis is the leading manufacturer in the Northeast and installer. They got over 1,000 units in operation in the Northeast, far down as Washington, DC. So we expect they'll do the high school as well. And in this case, they're actually using Japanese manufactured products that are mass produced in Japan. So it's very efficient. And the work they do in their plant in Hoyo, where they pre-install all the rack, is very efficient to save money. So it's a terrific company. And I think we need to do 3 more installations around town to get.
When you add up all the savings because of these
Yeah, I mean, the
know,
only issue is
CHP,
we're
it's
using
pretty
natural gas,
significant.
which is going to be around for hundreds of years. And other places, they're starting to think, don't use natural gas, but this is the trend to distribute the generation of electricity and rather than trying to manufacture it all.
No, it's a great thing for the town.
So with that, I move we approve the request from Public Works to enter into two contracts, one for Aegis Energy Services LLC for a total of $322,750, which includes a contingency for the Town Hall CHP project. And then secondly, with MHR Development for design, build, oversight, and construction administrative services for a total of 32,000. You said, I have 275. You had another number, 32,000.
32,568.
I had 275 anyway.
I just have one of the older memos. It was updated.
So second
Second,
for the discussion.
No.
All in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you, Joe. Tiger, back to you on tree warden.
Yes, so our tree warden went back out for his December 9th bid. We received 3 bidders, Olmsted Tree being the low at $11,900. This is for 11 separate locations in town. Olmsted has done nice work for us, and we'd like to continue that arrangement.
no question.
No questions. Okay, I move we approve the request from the tree warden to enter into a contract with Olmsted Tree for $11,900 for removal, pruning, and stump removal of various trees in town. Second,
Second here,
for the discussion.
none here.
All in favor? Aye, that's unanimous.
Thank you.
That brings us to police extra duty. Is that why the chief and John are here? I'm trying to figure out why you're here. And Andrew too.
And the attorney's on, we got everybody.
Why?
And we've got you.
To be here if
Are
you
we-
have questions.
Are we going to executive session?
I don't believe we need to.
You don't need to.
Okay,
I don't think we need to either.
So the union came in front of you back in 2017 to ask for an increase in their extra duty, which was approved. While we were negotiating the contract, they brought up extra duty. It is a fee. So we did tell them that it would need to come in front of you. The police commission did approve the police going from 70 to 85. And so the police commission has moved it on to the Board of Selectmen.
And to be clear, this is non-town extra duty,
Correct.
right? And the last time there was an increase, it's been some year,
2017.
2017.
4 years ago.
And I've looked at the comps.
Mhm.
I think it's appropriate.
Chris, I have a question for you. I assume it's legal for us to have a bifurcated rate, one for the town, one for the public, one for utilities?
Yes, it's private. In terms of, we set our own rate.
Right.
So if we want to have a different rate for in town for our budget, we're entitled to do that.
Okay, good.
Good answer.
Okay.
Love attorneys.
I have no questions. I move we approve the request from the police commission to increase the non-town extra duty hourly rate to $85 per hour and leave the town extra duty hourly rate at $70 per hour and approve an administrative fee of 12% on extra duty invoices.
Second the motion,
For the discussion,
none here.
all in favor?
Thank you for supporting our guys.
I guess it's important to them.
Important we do so.
All right, thank you,
Thanks,
Chief.
everyone.
Deputy Chief,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Andrew, for being here. Probationary status.
Okay, I am recommending Anna Krolikowski, who is the administrative assistant to the superintendent of buildings, and Jennifer Lafont, who is the tax clerk in the tax collector's office. Both come off of probation. I did put on your tablets the probationary employee performance evaluations, and they have both met and succeeded what we have expected. So
Questions?
None here.
I move we approve the Director of Human Resources request to remove Anna Krolikowski and Jennifer Lafond from the probationary status, and they both are doing great work. So thank you. And second,
Second here.
all in favor? That's unanimous. And then two full-time employees.
yes, the first one is Anid Haffa as a mechanic one. As I've explained in the past, we have had a very tough time trying to find a welder and a mechanic. We have gone out several times. This time we went out, we did receive 9 applicants. We interviewed 6. We brought them back for second interviews, interviewed 3, and we have Enid Afa in front of you. He has been a diesel technician in Greenwich and in the Bronx for many years. Mosey was part of the interview with one of his mechanics and felt very comfortable that he will fit in very well. Tiger, I don't know if you have anything to add.
No, I think we exhausted the possibilities. We think that he will do a nice job for us. Our head mechanic, Danny Tiani, said that if he can work in the Bronx, he can work anywhere.
I was gonna say something like that. But I don't know. I don't know if Duquesne is pretty tough. I'm delighted that we got a good candidate.
We're
Thank
still
you.
looking for one more, so we will be going.
So
back
we're
out.
still down
We're still down one.
one hand? Okay.
Did you explain Kevin O'Connor?
No. And Kevin O'Connor, he has been working in the town clerk as a special projects assistant. He's been with us since 2020. We did advertise the position internally. He was the only internal candidate. And we interviewed him. Claudia has worked with him, has been very happy with him, and we would like to recommend him for a full-time status.
Questions by Elon?
Not here.
I move we approve the request from the Director of Human Resources to hire, I can't say the name again, Enid
Enid Hafa,
Afa, as well as Kevin O'Connor for the Highway Department and the Town Clerk's Office. Second,
Second here.
all in favor? Aye. That's
Thank
unanimous.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Cheryl. Now we have a series of appointments and reappointments. As we always do at this time of year. I'll go just, how do you want to vote on them? Just all en banc?
Sure.
Or do you, I'll just quickly read them and then.
Yeah. Yeah, let's all just
for the
do it all
record.
together.
So the audit committee, Ed Kangas is retired CEO of Deloitte, who's does a great job for us on the audit committee. And Ed's going to continue for a term ending December 1, 2024.
So only in New Canaan do you have somebody on the audit committee who's retired CEO of
We have two
one of the, two.
two retired
Two,
CEOs.
you know, it's
Um,
amazing.
That's subject to town council confirmation tomorrow night. It's on their agenda. Then the Conservation Commission, we're recommending the reappointment of Susan Switzer and John Fusick and Chris Shipper for 2-year terms ending December 1, 2023. EMS, we're recommending the appointment of Melanie Barnard for a 3-year term ending November 15, 2024, replacing Larry Kessler, who's retiring. And also Jim Bell just stepped down to make way for Wendy Fogg for a term of 3-year term ending November 15, 2022. The Ethics Board, Bob Schott, we're recommending reappointment for 3-year term ending to December 1, 2024. Fire Commission, reappointing Beth Jones for a 3-year term ending December 1, 2024. Health and Human Services, recommending reappointment of Jennifer Hadlick for a 3-year term ending December 1, 2024. Inland Wetlands, recommending the appointment of Anthony Sillo from alternate status to a regular member for a term ending December 1, 2022. Appointment of Beth Stampard as an alternate for a 2-year term ending December 1, 2023. And then the reappointment of Dan Stepanak, George Perkins, Margaret Kirby, and Beth Bernali as regular members for 2-year terms ending December 1, 2023. And the reappointment of Priscilla Wyke as an alternate member for 2-year term ending December 1, 2023. The Police Commission recommending the reappointment of Chicago Bennett for 3-year term ending December 1, 2024. And then the Zoning Board of Appeals, we actually had a mistake here. The Luke Tasian and Jessica Carden are being reappointed as regular members for 2-year terms ending December 1, 2023. But Cynthia Dole will be elevated to a regular member for a term ending to December 1, 2023. And then Rich Caratu will be reappointed as an alternate for a 2-year term ending December 1, 2023. So we still have a few boards and commissions to work on for the next meeting, but I think this is the bulk of reappointments and appointments. Any questions or?
No, just a hearty thanks to all those who have stepped up in these various commissions and boards. It's sometimes a thankless task. Obviously, there's no pay involved, but there's a lot of time and effort. And thank you to all those volunteers, and thanks to the folks that are are moving off the boards and commissions, and we thank them for their service.
I see Melanie is on here. Anybody else?
Beth Jones was on as well.
No, I second Nick's thoughts. The volunteers in this town are what make the town work, and we thank them for their service, past and present and future.
Yeah.
And so with that, I move we approve all these appointments as I listed, with the modification of ZBA, as I discussed for Cynthia Dull.
I'm delighted to second the motion.
And all in favor? That's unanimous. Okay, moving on to contracts under $10,000. There's a bunch of them there. Questions about them?
No, I'm good.
Tax overpayments, there's, a bunch of automobile
Yep.
refunds there. I move we approve the refunds. I think there were no real estate ones, right? Just automobile.
I didn't see it.
I move to approve those refunds. Second,
Second here.
all in favor? That's unanimous. Legal bills on the tablets. I move to approve the legal bills on the tablets.
Second here.
All in favor? That's unanimous. We're going to go into executive session on 220 Elm, but before that, why don't we make some comments? I would comment that as far as COVID, obviously, I was just kind of annoyed to see a headline this morning in the Stamford Advocate saying 300% increase in COVID cases in New Canaan since early November. The press is being rather hysterical about the current COVID situation with unnecessarily, in my view.
What a surprise.
And I think people in the health field share that view. We've had a modest increase in cases, none serious. The risk is still unvaccinated people, and my concern is that, like around the country and in other parts of Connecticut, if you're unvaccinated, you can get very sick. You can be in ICUs. You can even die. So I encourage people to get vaccinated, to get boosters if you're eligible. Governor Lamont has wisely not put any new restrictions on. There's talk about the masks for the kids in schools, which are, the high school is 100% vaccinated virtually. So why kids are wearing masks in schools, I don't quite understand. But and then on the cell towers, we expect to receive today the tech report from Homeland Towers for the 1837 Ponus Ridge Tower. We will plan to have a public hearing before the Board of Selectmen in January. On that, there's a 190-day consultation period, and then that will go to the Siting Council. The Soundview Lane Tower is being energized this week, but it'll take another few weeks for AT&T to activate their antennas. Verizon hasn't started theirs yet, but that tower also isn't finished as far as it looks. There's a lot of work to be done in the spring in terms of the landscaping around the base. So I think that's what I have for comments.
A couple of things. Can you just update us on the status of, I see Chief is still here, the police department, new police department?
Finance tonight is going to have an update. We continue to have discussions with a developer about the current site, and we will have further information on that in January.
So is it on the agenda for the Board of Finance tonight?
It's on the agenda, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you read the agendas?
I haven't seen the Board of Finance agenda yet.
Yeah.
I got in front of me a memorandum from Chief Golikowski to you dated March 29th, 2021, talking about the need for additional video cameras in both Irwin Park and the center of town. I spoke with the chief yesterday. I think, Chief, we've had 39 vehicular break-ins.
39 thefts and several dozen break-ins.
Which is kind of astronomical if you compare it to 4 or 5 years ago.
About a 250% increase in the last 2 years.
It's right now, it's probably the biggest issue in town that I'm hearing. I'm hearing people like, what is going on? It's like every week.
That's concerning. That's
Yeah.
what
So,
crime, we're focused on trying to investigate and do our best.
so my question is to the first selectman is, can we kind of ASAP get this?
Well,
Get
Nick,
this
first of
done?
all, I replied to that, and I also would remind people that the Board of Finance offered you $50,000 in March and you declined it. So I mean, I was in favor of that request.
Leon, do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, we didn't have a plan yet, and I'm glad to take 50,000 now.
Yeah. And I think the Board of Finance would authorize $50,000 tomorrow if you, yeah. So I mean, Leon should have addressed it to the Board of Finance because he had already been offered $50,000.
Well,
I'm not totally in favor of more security. We spent our $50,000 on protecting buildings, which is our obligation on the town side. In many cases,
well, it sounded like what we did at Waveney didn't go down very well, right? Yeah, is my understanding.
Not quite entirely functional yet.
And It- not functional, and those were installed when? A while ago.
Yeah, months ago, I'm not sure exactly.
And Hillary's here actually, which is, I mean, we got to get this right. This is serious stuff. So I don't, this isn't the blame game, Kevin. I'm not
I know,
blaming
but
you
The town,
or
the
Leon,
town,
but I
the
just,
town
we
has
need,
installed dozens and dozens of cameras.
which a lot of them don't work
On top.
according to Leon.
Well, we'll get Chris together with the chief to understand, we've made huge progress on the town side. And the chief has an obligation to request for his budget and police commission, which I responded, that's what you have to do. So, he has $50,000 for the asking from the Board of Finance.
I think you didn't have a plan at that point, right?
Yeah,
That's correct. Yeah,
well,
and we'll see a request
burden's on the chief
in our.
to bring it forward for the plan.
Yeah, and I would submit that it's preferable that, kind of the work that's being done is
The ball's in the
police,
chief-
not
the ball's in the
not
chief's court.
Tiger and
The
not
ball's in
not
the
Public
chief's court.
Public Works.
Public Works has supported all the cameras that benefit the police, right? But he was offered $50,000 by the Board of Finance and he declined it. So,
Yeah, I don't think council money will play a plan.
yeah, well, I haven't seen a plan either, so. The ball's in the chief court. Seriously, I mean, he knows how the process works.
Is that enough, Leon?
It's,
I mean, honestly, this is such a serious, if you said 100,000, I'd be supportive of that. I don't know what the right number is, but
yeah, I don't know. We have very distinct requests from what Tiger would have for protection of buildings. Specifically, we would like coverage of vehicles coming and going.
see, that's the thing. The problem is it's like, who's running this? Tiger, and I love Tiger and he's
No, no,
terrific, but he's
no,
not
the chief-
he's not
the
a
chief-
police.
It's the chief has to come forward with a
Okay.
plan, right?
Okay.
Public Works has supported anything that's been requested, and we spent our money that we requested and we implemented to protect property and to protect lives.
Nick, the memo you referenced hasn't really been addressed. The systems that are in place so far. Just hasn't been addressed.
Chief, you should bring that up with Public Works and bring it up with the finance, Board of Finance.
And you'll see,
I mean, you don't report to me. So I mean, the police commission can go directly to the Board of Finance and ask for money.
Right.
So,
that's good. And you'll see an upcoming request for.
Right.
Good.
Enhance our security and investigations.
Terrific.
anything else?
That's all I have.
So I move we go into executive session to discuss 220 Elm Street, and we will come out of executive session and may vote. So I would ask Tucker to stay in, and who else? Tiger.
Pause the recording, please.
Okay, we left executive session at 9:33. I move we adjourn. We have no vote.
Second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Thank you.